Manually testing your prompts and workflows should be considered a full-time job. For anything you're building, you need some input data, right? So you probably enter it over and over again or just spin it in the workflow. There are several problems with that. First, you're testing the same scenario, but not the edge cases. So you adapt your prompts and the workflow in general to give you the best answer on one scenario only. People are lazy and often too busy with the workflow, so they hate wasting time testing it properly. Most edge cases you want to catch are not in the data you're testing, but somewhere else. The second problem, so after a while, it's hard to compare the results with previous executions to tailor prompts accordingly. You have to analyze these results and compare them with the previous ones, how to do that even. After several rounds, believe me, it all looks the same, so you'll be too tired to remember which prompt was better. And the third one, each time you change anything in the workflow, you have to repeat the whole process again and then somehow manage the different versions of this prompt again. So the solution I created for myself is an automated testing workflow which uses samples of data and measures the result. That's how I can be sure I'm moving to the right direction. So I'll break it down for you. Maybe it will inspire you to do the same for your project. I've already made a video about a calorie tracker, so I'm gonna use it as an example. I want to make sure my AI agent estimates portion sizes correctly every time on different dishes, and that is consistent on large volumes, so the results are pretty much the same. I have Airtable database where I store samples. Let me show you. So the library covers everything from the perfect scenarios to the weird or broken or some edge cases. As you can see, there are plenty of different food items photographed from different angles. Some foods are mixed, some are not. These are soups, chicken, rice, chips, and even cheeseburger from McDonald's, so even popcorn, so everything is here. So for each test sample, I can define its real portion by measuring it using physical scales. So yes, sometimes you have to close your laptop and go to the real world to do something. So then for each dish, I have an allowed discrepancy. Basically how accurate the estimation should be. Pay attention, some food samples are missing photos because in my app users can simply text the meal and the app has to identify the correct portion in any case. So I can select which meal I want to test by changing the status, not ready or ready. Or I can test several meals at once, so let's pick this pasta and chicken at the moment. So as you notice, I store my prompts here in Airtable database as well. It helps me to synchronize the prompts between the test environment for the testing purposes and with the production ones. And also I can see different versions of every single prompt here. So it's pretty handy. Okay, so here is my workflow. Let's connect the trigger node to the getting samples branch, and let's pull the trigger. So each meal is gonna be analyzed 10 times. I deactivated it just to keep it simple at the moment, but in reality, I need at least 10 different iterations to make sure everything is all right. Then I'm saving the results here in the Airtable, and let's go and take a look. So here in the test results or test runs, I have a history of all the testing that was executed before. So I have here a link to the test samples. I have the status failed or passed. I have expected results, and I have the difference and what's the exact discrepancy between the expected results, and also link to the prompt. Yeah, now I got my test result here. So the expected result was for pasta 220, and for chicken is 160. Let's see what we've got. We've got less for pasta and almost a bullseye for chicken, but it exceeds my allowance for 10%, so the test is failed. Okay, so let's imagine we have 10 of tests like that. Here, it's already better than to do it yourself, right? So to upload the picture over and over again, wait until it's gonna be executed and output somewhere. and read all this data, compare it with the expected results, so you understand it's already much helpful. But it's not all, because when you have 10 samples tested, for me, I'm too lazy to go one by one and to compare. Okay, I got here 45, 55, etc. So I don't need that. That's why I have another branch here, which gonna aggregate this result and show me analytics. Let's pull the trigger. So what's going on here? We got our 20 test results from this table. Then we're gonna group these results by different criteria. It is prompt, it is food item, and that's it, right? So we need, by each prompt and by each title, we need aggregated results of all test runs. Let's go and see what we've got. So test versions, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Yeah, you see, so now I got 3 test versions here. Every version, it has connection to the prompt. Right now it's all the same prompt, but obviously if you have different prompts here, you're gonna have different grouping. So I can be sure that I'm testing each of my prompts separately from one another. Also here I got 8 samples of this prompt with rice and omelette. Here I had test samples of chicken and rice, and the result for pasta and chicken. Let's go here and check. Yes, we got rice and omelette, we got pasta and chicken, and we got chicken and rice, so it seems legit for me. So now let's analyze it. So for chicken and rice, the rice portion should have been 143, and the chicken portion should be 190. So I have here minimum and maximum results to see the general landscape, right? To see these extremums. The minimum result for rice was 65, and the maximum result for rice was 110, which is not good for both, which means that I have pretty widespread of the results which I've got from AI, right? So the next point of my attention should have been how to make this range much smaller. So right now my prompt is so bad that I got 54% of margin from my expected results. So it's too much, and I know what should be done. So as a bottom line here, once again, all I need, I have just 2 branches here. One branch is for getting samples, one branch is for aggregated results. Then I have a simple Airtable database with 4 additional tables. One stands for test samples to keep different food items. Then test results, the result of testing per each item and each prompt. And then test versions as an aggregation of by different items and by different prompts to give me understanding how successful each of my prompt is. So, and here I store prompts, so if I don't need a prompt, I can deactivate it, create a new one, and the general workflow looks like this. I can tailor the prompt, copy it here, then change the status, and then press one button here, and everything will be done, and I will get the more or less precise result of how successful my prompt is, and I can make corrections. So instead of simply clicking execute workflow once again, wait until it's going to be executed and trying to compare it with for yourself, this is how automation can save you a lot of time. So now if you want, we can break through how does it work. uh, so we have 2 branches here, as I mentioned. By the way, there is a beautiful n8n trigger that works when your active workflow is updated, so you can use it as well to launch the whole process. But I usually use simple manual workflow because I want to be in this process at the moment, right? So the first node, we simply get in test samples. So we search them by the ready status. It is here, ready or not ready. So we are picking the ones that are ready for testing, so we can make different items available at the moment for testing. Okay. After that, we got this code node that simply multiplies one result each time, right? So I can activate it, and once I press this button, this one item gonna be duplicated 10 times for when you use AI agent, or when you use any kind of AI. It's, you know, that you probably know that every time it's gonna give you another result slightly different. So that's why it's important to test it at least 10 or even more times, just to be sure what's the range of this answer is gonna be. So then we have a loop over these items. If there is an attachment, we go here to the photo. If there is not, we go to the message. Then we have assistants one. This is assistant for the text. This is our assistant for analyzing the portion size from the photo. Then we get prompts for them. These prompts we getting from the prompts table using search by active status and type analyze image. So as you can see, I have different types of prompts. So I have two prompts for analyze image and one prompt so far for analyzing text. Once I get prompts, I can simply pass this prompt to as a system message for the assistant. Let's execute the workflow just to show you the result. So as you can see, the work is under progress. Let's stop it. I don't want to waste tokens for no reason. So as you can see, 3 times from we did the job 3 times already from one sample here. So let's go and see so what's going on behind the curtain. So we are getting attachment here. We are passing this attachment alongside with the prompt to our analyzer. We have to gather these results for our QA assistant. Yeah, so we are getting the response from our assistants, and we are getting the original prompt because we're gonna store this prompt later. Though that's why we need the ID of the prompt, which we are getting from this step. Okay, then we have our QA assistant. It is pretty straightforward. We get some expected results, we have some criteria, and we have test results, right? So here we got pasta, we got 10% difference, and we got our response from the assistant, and system message. And system message for QA assistant. So which job is to define whether the test result matches the expectations in the range of the criteria. That's it. And then we have strict output here with the status and with the difference, which is just a note from the QA in natural language what was not good, right? So we get status failed and different in the difference note. After that, we create a test result with date time, with a link to the test sample, with the status, with the difference, with the test result, and with the prompt as well. That's how we got our test results, right? And the next thing is where we want to aggregate the results, right? So now let's connect these nodes and let's execute it, and I'm going to show it how it works. So for this branch, we are getting test results this time, as many as we have. So we got 20 different test results with ID, with status, and obviously we are filtering here by status failed. We don't need past ones. So we got name, we get difference, etc. Right? After that, we have a code node which help us to group them by different criteria, by prompt, by name, and by expected result, which leads us to this structure. We have prompt ID, we have name, rice and omelette, we have expected results, and we have different test runs which were unsuccessful. This time expected omelette was like this, but we got this result, we got this result, we got this result, etc. So now we are ready to pass this through the loop item, because once again we grouped the items. So pay attention, we had 22 items, but now we have only 3. So we have to use our QA assistant 3 times now for each of the grouped results. And it's pretty straightforward. Once again, you're a QA assistant, and job is to analyze different test results for one particular test scenario. And that's it. That's how we got minimums, we got maximums, we got notes, we got how many samples was there, and we got this maximum deviation from our expected result. That's it. So then we save these test results to our Airtable database, and that's how we got these test versions. So it's pretty straightforward. I hope it was helpful, because for me it saves just enormous amount of time. So I hope it's gonna inspire you to create something for your project. So I highly recommend to do something similar, because and something similar to avoid clicking over and over again, executing workflow, and completely forgetting about edge cases, completely forgetting about versions of your workflow, and completely forgetting about that AI is gonna give you different results every time. So it's your job to make sure that you control it somehow. So why it's important for me? Because first of all, using this approach, you can finally measure what you're doing, not only feel it. Secondly, you have versions of your prompts, and you can pick the best based on numbers, not on your feelings as well. And the third one, it's fully automated, so you can just drink a coffee while the system performs everything for you. So it's easy. So hope this helps. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.